University. Let's go! Let's go! It's Overwatch starting here today on the Post University channel. Facing off with Post University will be OSO Green from Baylor University as we start and kick off the ECAC season with week number 1. Coming in, of course, both teams clean slates from last season, moving into this season, looking for more success, looking for potential just ability to create plays and really prove themselves moving forward within a season. And we'll see if Post University and OSO can get the job done here in this best of 5, as we know very well in the ECAC. And that'll be the case here tonight. So, for rosters here, I know I don't have a graphic for you, but I'll read through them nonetheless. Glad to have every single one of you in here, by the way, and appreciate your patience as we got things cooking here for you on the 3-minute delay as well. Starting for Post University, we've got Multikel, Moridin, Krystal, Pize, and Speedy Rogue will be the ones getting the call here for Post University. And on the other side of things, we've got OSO. Coming in with the real DT, Calamity, Trim 2 Cool, Sin City, and Emblem coming in as well. So Sin City actually listed as a sub. The one that's missing, Tattoonin, is one on OSO Green's side that will not get the call here tonight for whatever reason. I do not have the intel from their side. Maybe somebody knows in chat and can fill us in on the details here. But it begins now with map 1, round 1. Let's hit it at Lijiang Tower. And an instant TP gets Post University onto the point early and cooking, trying to win that position war after all. You see the Maywall coming up as well, being able to prevent them from moving any farther. So great job from Moridin to hold them into that position too. A Ram as the tank on the Post University side has been doing some work early. And got some initial kills, able to use that brawliness to their advantage around that corner at the Maywall. You have to run through some fists from the Rams. So you got to credit Multikel, the captain of this Post University side, for the strong start, and tries to continue with another engagement as they'll get a little bit of help as well from the other side, but they are being bullied from the backside as well. It looks like it was Calamity from their side that was looking to get the job done, but having to bail out instead because they're being chased down to a T. Luckily, they had their Mora right place, right time here on the bridge, but they still can't seem to just poke through here. There's been no advantage. The Ram has been absolutely deadly, and they haven't gotten a whole lot of value from this Junkrat early. They will have 3 ultimates online for the next engagement, but they'll have to back out. They'll be forced out as they just didn't have enough firepower at the end of the day to really start anything at all. Multikel did a great job in leading, and we'll have the annihilation for this next fight as well. We've got Moridin on the other side of this wall too, hanging back as a May, as you typically would in this sense. Also with the Ice Storm whenever they need to pull that up and take care of it. So still has to use the Annihilation and Nemesis form right now, so you'll see the Consuming Rush coming up, trying to get them on side, although Trim to Cool does get the initial kill. Well, it's them being able to let them fall, being able to take advantage of them. Calamity will follow as well. That was Moridin with an absolutely outstanding sequence there to hold off the point and be able to lead their team with the triple kill. And still with some trouble getting back to the point is that OSO esports team of Baylor University. So now taking up to 85%. This will be the last engagement for this round, at least, for OSO to try to cap this point and get to it, but they just haven't found any success. And Moridin's trying to get there too. We'll see if they get it done in the way of Calamity. But Calamity's going to fall relatively early. Their Maga's going to have to play this incredibly careful because of that. Will charge in, does a lot of damage though, and now they got to keep this tank alive, but Multikel will fall as well, as they just didn't have enough in the tank to get it done. The Symmetro will follow suit closely after, and a much-needed win in an engagement for OSO esports Green, as they will take the point at 99% just before the overtime. I believe it was at the overtime, actually, that they were able to finally take it. Overtime did tick whenever they were able to cap that point. So well played and a good bounce back after what was a relatively slow start, being trapped behind the bridge of sorts and not being able to move there was a difficult struggle, but they're able to take advantage of it. That's a lot of damage that they drove through as well from the real DT. But now leading the charge forward is going to be Multikel, the captain, trying to keep the rest of his team alive. Great job in Nemesis form to throw up the blockers, the gloves if you will, to try to keep them alive. Now it's going to be the ice coming through. The storm will allow them to tear through yet again and cause even more damage. Multikel is going to get some support from Moridin as well. Chasing them off this point will be capped, and now overtime it will tick down. So the first rounds of this first map of Lijiang Tower will go to Post University. They started strong, and although they did surrender the point once and 41% to OSO, so you know, OSO did have an answer and was able to clap back relatively early, or relatively in a relatively nice manner. Not early. It took him until 99% to get there, so it wasn't that quick. But it was a good adjustment nonetheless, and so that's what you got to do if you're Post University if you want to win the series. OSO, for them, just don't get trapped. I felt like they played a lot better when they took their engagements in moments that, you know, didn't put them in a situation where their positioning was off points. Maybe you'll see some adjustments along the way. They will take a Sojourn into this one, as you saw Calamity switch over here, so we'll take their viewpoint for just a moment. And Trim to Cool still on that Junkrat as well. They weren't able to get a whole lot of value out of it there, but at Control Center, this might be the place to do it. Or you just get it from Calamity, who at long-range engagement is able to get the elimination, secure it, and trying to secure the point as well. But they're dealing with a Torbjorn, which we'll see, you know, not a whole lot of in the competitive scene, but Krystal, she's pulling it out for the occasion, was able to get a little bit of value out of it. I did respect it. See if they continue here as well. Multikel continues to be on this ram, causing damage, able to break through. First of all, with the staff, and then followed away with the Nemesis form with a bunch of fists, and still trying to hold them up. But they're getting a whole lot of value out of their supports too. Got to shout out Sin City, who comes in as a sub and has been doing an excellent job for them, as you see their point of view with the Juno, who's getting a whole lot of love here in the meadow. And it's had an excellent start in addition to it, so that support team has looked a lot better here, but at the end of the day, the real goal sits right here. You can't be a C9. You can't forget about the point. You got to get on at some point. Then Maywall is absolutely phenomenal as well. We'll hold them off, and then Multikel able to follow up from that initial damage that you saw from Torbjorn jumping in. So credit Krystal for starting that engagement, and then Multikel is going to just tear through and kill off the rest of this OSO squad. So they'll have to try again, and we have a little bit of deja vu, like we saw in the last round at Gardens of Lijiang Tower. So now you'll see this long hallway will be the place of engagement whenever we see them next. Again, some backline helpage, and you're going to need that. Junkrat has the tire. We'll see if they bring this out. Try to tuck behind it, but you've got Multikel in annihilation mode going ham. Has got the first couple of kills, was bailed out in the nick of time, but DT still fell, and that left the backline vulnerable, and Emblem fell as well from Multikel, who was able to finish off that annihilation in style and get that kill. And now it's going to be very difficult for this team to break through the choke point. They are already at 94% is Post University, and they're going to need a little bit more. Junkrat tire does land one, but is it enough? They were able to sneak behind in on points, but they should be drained soon at least. Sure enough, Trim will fall. And now because of that, it'll be Post University capping Lijiang Tower very early, and we'll go up 1-0 here in this series. Hot start. Very excited for all of you who have joined me here today. That's how you want to start off your season, is with a dominant win here at Lijiang Tower. Obviously, the brawl comp is working. The ram is especially strong for Multikel. There's a reason you're in that captain slot, and as a captain who can lead by example, you certainly saw a prime example of how you can get that value. So once again, Post University Looking strong. I want to meet everybody, by the way. Odium, I see you in here. Odium, welcome to the stream. Very glad to have you. I haven't had the chance to introduce myself, so I suppose I'll do it now as we will move on to the next map. My name is Bearlight here. I started at Post University 3 semesters ago. Danny, correct me if I'm wrong. Might have been 4 semesters ago. Now it's the spring season. This will be the 4th season. I believe that's correct, so you can correct me if I'm wrong, man. Time flies, I'll tell you that. But started off on the Rocket League side of things, and now through the passion of Overwatch, I've gotten a lot of experience under the hood from DreamHack, the Collegiate Invitational. Did some college Overwatch there with some of the teams around that Atlanta area, so like more of a Southeast Invitational. That's why Post University wasn't there. Obviously, y'all would have dominated and won. Same with you, OSO, 100%. You know what I'm saying? No, there's some extremely good teams. I mean, some pro-level players there at the DreamHack Invitational. So got some love in the Overwatch scene there. And now this year, would love to be the voice of Overwatch just the same. Valorant 2, one of my favorites. Got a chance to cast them and kick off the season right with Post University. So I'm glad to be able to move over to Overwatch and meet all of you, because the Rocket League squad was super awesome. But listen, I like to meet the entirety of the esports program. I do think it's very important that... this goes for OSO as well. So if your fans are in here and you're hanging out with us, hello. We're talking to all of y'all, not just us here at Post University. I believe every esports organization, whether it be collegiate pro, but more so talking to the collegiate side of things. It's extremely powerful whenever you can have students who support across multitude of different titles. And the cool thing is that I've seen that. I've witnessed some of the Overwatch team, some of y'all in chat right now, swing by the Rocket League stream, swing by the Valorant stream, and that's super cool. They're waiting on me, so I'm just messing up right now. No big deal. We'll tell them we're ready. But I really do respect the fact that Post University has been like that. I can't speak for OSL, but I would assume that the same likely applies. So it is the most... I want to say overdone combination. I'm sure everybody who's in Overwatch competitively right now will agree with me that it's the most common, I'll put it that way with a less negative energy, the most common back-to-back map combination to start things off. And here we go again. It'll be Lijiang Tower into, you guessed it, it'll be King's Row here as the hybrid for the next round. Selected, and we shall get things going pretty soon here. Breaking down map 1 in the control realm. Yes, Multikel did a lot when we talk about shield placement. Fantastic. Allows everybody to go to work, whether it be like a Mei who doesn't even really... They still get a lot of advantage because you're not catching as much damage, but also like you could get more value out of a Sojourn or a Soldier, I suppose. But still, that combination regardless... of the Mei kind of hanging back, did a lot. So credit Krystal early in that one. And then, but it starts with your tank because you only have one of them. At the end of the day, you want them to be strong. We held up strong was Multikel, but the rest of the team definitely followed suit here. Over to, yes, we mentioned it before. We'll mention it again. It'll be King's Row. You did not see me mess up. As a first-time spectator in the world of Overwatch, I totally did not just watch a YouTube video of Overwatch spectating before I kicked off here tonight. That was not a thing, okay? But I know that a lot of observers do this and then check out this amazing statue. Seeing if we're on the right sides here first, so we'll see if we launch this lobby. They said that's what I was thinking. So, yep, sure enough, they shall figure that portion out, and they'll just switch sides very quickly, and then we should be able to get things on the way. I don't see anybody else hanging out or in chat. Hey, we'd love when you're vocal. I'd love to meet every single one of you. Denny, I see you in chat. You're always here, baby. I know you. I know you're going to be here and hanging out with us. For the team, breakdown. Speedy Rogue. And MountainDru actually coming in for this next one as well. So I believe we had a sub out. MountainDru will come in. That's correct. So I don't see Pize. So Pize won't be in this time. I thought she did very well. But Post University... Oh, sorry. Yeah. Post University, again, is... They really see their players, especially in Overwatch, as everybody's a starter because you have that talent that spreads so deeply. Post University Overwatch, so one of the reasons I was so excited to hang out in the streams, even last semester, back when I wasn't the voice of Overwatch. Number one, because I love that cohesion, like I mentioned, in the esports world and in organizations. But number two, I love Overwatch. And number three, is that post-university's roster is pretty deep, right? There's a lot of good talent. You can play multiple roles as well. So, you know, having that variety, ability to change in an instant is actually underrated, I would argue. So, you know, credit where credit's due. Let's try this again, shall we? We're back into it. The teams are on the correct sides. Now we've got post-university on the defense starting off here. And it'll be OSO Green on the attack to kick it off. Oh, King's Row. I don't even have to do this for you because you probably watch Overwatch if you're watching the team. But if you don't watch Overwatch, this will be the spot to watch for the defenders here. It allows you the opportunity to, of course, if they want to go movie theater, or the Moridin, rather. Movie theater, they can certainly do that if they want to. But you still have that sight line. If you want to go straight through, you can. If you want to play more of like a Rhine or a Reinhardt, aka Shield, or maybe even a Sigma to like shield off and come this way, it's possible. Right now you see Multikel on the Rhine. I've seen Rhine get a whole lot of play here in King's Row recently, and so that'll get some love. And Sigma on the other side, so it's almost the combination that I was talking about here. So that's why you'll see them watch this corner as we kick things off now with Oso on that attack. And they'll just kind of spam at that shield. Trying to get Multikel to drop it. That's one of the biggest ways to attack Ryan. Ryan did get a bit of a buff in the recent past, and so that's why you see a little bit more love. MountainDru going with the Zenyatta, which is certainly an interesting choice, especially if the way that that Oso did show the ability to brawl from time to time, but either way, Trem2 Cole is in trouble. Moridin popping off right now with a couple of kills of their own, sending them right back to the spawn. And they'll be able to hold off at this choke point yet again at the open door, right front and center. Real DT Calamity can't be doing that. Unfortunately for them, the Ashe needs a little bit of support. It looks like they jumped out a little bit too early before the rest of the team was ready. The tank couldn't hold him. And look at his Moridin. Will hop in and drop them in an instant. Multikel once again getting good value. Moridin was extremely low, so they will ice up into the ice block to get some heals going. Speedy Rogue, that was very speedy in the sense that they got their ultimate as well. So Kitsune Rush gonna hold on to that until the next full team fight. But right now it seems like a little bit too much trickling, if you will, from OSO Esports Green. For Overwatch. Not been their best performance as of yet. It's been very dominant for post-university, but that never means that it's going to continue that way. Calamity going to go a little bit cheeky here, and I don't blame them. When you're winning, you want to find creative ways to get around it, especially to drain that shield. The best way to do that is with a Bastion, so they go up top of the double-decker to try to tear down that wall, but, I mean, it's still up and still powerful as they just kind of tuck behind the wall. Multikel does. And Earth Shatter, and now here comes Multikel to try to get down, but they're frozen. Excellent job from OSO in that moment to at least make it difficult. And yet still Moridin is able to delay the rush because of that ice. They'll have their ultimate as well, so the storm coming and held on to. And they'll have it for the next engagement. So everything that OSO is doing right, it seems like Post University has had an answer for through the first map and a half. Krystal on Torb. My life is complete, says Denny 3 minutes ago. In the near past. Really need to hear the backstory in that one, because I don't know much. MountainDru getting in on the kills too. Oh, you love to see it. Fresh off the bench. Not saying a bench player. Very much still a starter, as is the rest of the Overwatch team for Post University. But I'm just saying it's kind of hard sometimes to jump in after the first map and get a whole lot of value. And they are doing work, as it all started with their orbs in order to cause that damage. They don't see the Moridin. It's a bit of a sneaky ult there. Now The Annihilation powered up with a Nano Boost as well, but he's going to be pinned by the Reinhardt of the other side. Again, it's Multikel hopping in and causing more damage, but they do drop at the end of the day. Krystal and left, but they're trying to get back to it. The real DT. That's why they call him the real one. That's why he's the real one. The Ram work was excellent. Started off with the Sigma, couldn't find much with it, and so you still want shields because you have the Bastion, you have the Junkrat. The Trim is refusing to ditch right now. Might be a one trick, but either way, we'll move past. Especially when they've been doing a decent job on that Junkrat to some degree. Calamity, though, Bastion finding value behind shields, but I think the switch was fantastic. That Annihilation from DTs kicked it off. But now Krystal onto Torbjorn, finding more value. Let's see why Denny is getting so excited here with Krystal on this Torbjorn. Turret behind the play, trying to just hold off now that they were able to get the payload going. This is going to be the toughest part until the next checkpoint to get through. Is this small doorway that's the only place that you can go. Earth Shatter still causing damage. Great job in support was Sin City. Once again, listed as a sub, but doing great work to keep this Bastion alive, to keep real DT alive for an extended period of time, but eventually DT will fall if you're trying to bite the ankles of a serpent that is post-university right now. It makes it very difficult to continue to do exactly that, so still stuck here. Minute 33 left, so they've already melted a whole bunch of this clock regardless. Moridin able to combine for a couple. I just missed it on the observing. Again, first time. Don't hold me to perfection here. That's not a standard I can get. But the Kitsune Rush is ready for Speedy Rogue, and there's only a minute 15 left, so you imagine it's going to be popped around the 45-second mark to let them have enough time to push forward in the next engagement if they need it. Still trying to hold back from the back line. Sin City as well, trying to get some of the support. Trim will fall. They'll have the Junkrat tire for the next engagement, though, so we'll see what they are able to capitalize with that, if they are at all. Bastion still has their ult too, so 4 ultimates going into it with 52 seconds left. And now when they push in this engagement, this is where you'll see the Kitsune Rush coming almost instantly behind them. Wind it up, count it down. Calamity gets the first pick. Oh, but everybody's fallen already. So do they want to use it in this engagement? Moridin and Krystal got a couple of kills in engagements. This might allow them to do it. But they waited on the Zen ult from the other side, trying to allow them the right opportunity to use it, but they're just too powerful. A good push through once again as the real DT getting value out of this push. And finally, they get the cart moving, but with 17 seconds left, so they really don't have a whole lot of time to work through it. But credit them for at least pushing this farther than I anticipated after it being held from that choke point for so long. So try to press it in. Multikel is still on this point, though, so it is dead in its tracks. Still stuck at 35 meters. So forget everything I said. Perfect Earth Shatter as well to hold it and push them back. And now Krystal with the follow-up, too, in that combination. They are just a little bit stronger and utilize all of their utility at the exact same time to just absolutely dominate that fight. But it's still not over. They're able to get right back to the cart, and we'll be able to push it too, especially when DT has been doing things like that. Got to give this man some love on stream. He has been excellent. Pulls it down, now pushing it forward. They've reached at least 60 meters now. This isn't as bad as it originally seemed whenever the point was hard to get, whenever it was hard to get through that choke point too. But how much more do they have left in them? Do they have another engagement? They're actually able to push past another choke point at that street that goes to that side street. So now is when you're Speedy Rogue. You haven't used this Kitsune Rush. Now is the time to utilize it. You have to use it now. Shield down, ready for it, and they'll push forward now off of it, but they drop it. They get it off before they fell, so it will be activated. Luckily enough for Post University, because that was a close one. Almost pulled an Ajax of that. I'm not sure what it's called if you're talking about Kiri. But DT is still going strong. Another kill. Make it a 4K for this man. Absolutely annihilates the rest of the team. And in overtime, they continue to push, and they might very well be able to capitalize this point. I'm not sure that we can get back to it. And it's Speedy Rogue the one to get to it anyways. So they'll try to push it off, but they're going to fall before they get to it, and it will be the next tick. And that is impressive work. Yeah, the Zen is absolutely going nuts. 100% one of the reasons why they found this success. Also, MountainDru held him off for a while, but has been helping a bunch as well. But this man, the real DT, has been absolutely crazy. Somehow, he was able to lower Krystal's HP enough where they could allow the Junkrat to jump into that hallway and also get that kill. Now pushing forward is DT, draining more and more of this kill. They have to deal with this DT, but the problem is they've got a whole lot of support behind them. Also, Sin City up top, perfectly placed where they can get some more support. Trim Too Cool also with the Riptire, and again finding more value. Trim Too Cool is able to calm, collectively push this forward. 39 seconds left to try to push in this corner, but the fight remains here on point. DT still finding a way to tear through, and a lot of it's Calamity right behind them as well. Find it with the grenades and with the location and placement of their shots in addition to it. Now Krystal, they've tried to deal with the Torbjorn, but now perfectly timed from MountainDru. Still, DT waited for it, used the Annihilation, but also falls. Now MountainDru still Orb of Discord, trying to kill them off, but Sin City was able to land a kill before they're able to do that. There's actually numbers for OSO, and although we'll be back down to 0, can MountainDru kill enough time for the rest of the team to get back in point? I'm not sure that they're going to be able to. In fact, I don't believe they will. Oh, they will. Multikel able to get to it. What a play! Are you kidding me? Multikel holds him off at the tail end of this one. And Post University did well, but that was still 62 meters. And honestly, the way the first minute and a half looked like, that was 62 meters farther than I thought that payload would ever travel, I'll be honest. Because OSO of Baylor University was, I mean, they had to really fight for it, and DT was a problem, man. DT was an absolute, props, give it out to OSO's captain there. The real DT23 was absolutely excellent. And then you got a whole lot of value of Trim Too Cool. It is really just an extremely strong push to get it that far. But also at the end of the day, Multikel held them from getting all the way to the third point, aka to the end of that push of the payload. So all things considered, that was a huge play at the tail end to charge and be able to push them back off that payload. Excellent play, yes. Both teams really showing up here, and I love that. You want to see a good matchup, regardless of who you're here to cheer for, and I think that they've done a great job of accomplishing that thus far. See if any changes, big changes have been made. Nope, looks like the same combination. Emblem will actually switch to the Honest, so that's different than what we saw before. But Krystal will also be going with the Symmetra, so we'll see what the idea is here. Perhaps a TP to the backside of this engagement might be one of the biggest reasons. Nemesis Form trying to chase them off so close, and does eventually gain that first kill on Calamity. So now they'll be down a Soldier, down a DPS. That'll be difficult. Plus, you're getting good value as they slow everybody trying to get away from the point, just making moves, taking space, and just throwing that defense backwards. It has been excellent. They have not been able to deal with this at all. And pushed all the way back. And that'll be an easy cap as you see MountainDru all the way back to escort the payload. It's a whole lot different as Post University will have 5 minutes and 40 seconds to push the payload versus, what was it for OSO? I think it's a minute and 40 seconds to be able to do that. But they still have 50 meters to go, so, you know, you haven't won it quite yet if you're Post. You can't get too comfortable in this situation because you got this man right here, DT. Held off so much the last time around, and it will be a battle of Ramatras, which is something that I love as a Ramatra. I wouldn't say a Ramatra main, but certainly one of my favorite go-to picks, especially for escort/hybrid maps. Trim hasn't been located in this window and is getting a whole lot of value out of. Just kind of sitting up here and spamming for the most part. We'll see if they can be hit. As MountainDru is being chased out of it, they just need to dive him, and then really they find a little bit of success. Multikel trying to move forward as well. Nemesis Form will land one, trying to make it a double kill, but the Ana is giving them so much value, so they're not able to finish the job. But they do have Annihilation if they want, and the shield has been popped. They aren't in Nemesis Form yet, and typically we want to utilize it after that, so they'll just hold in parade rest, if you will. in terms of using that Annihilation. And all Post University, not only have they moved the cart to 87 meters towards the first point, or first checkpoint. But they've also have all of their ultimates for this next exchange. So the first one they're going to use is the Moridins, or AKA Bastion. He's going to chase around this corner. This corner is very important now at this point because they're able to gain that point. Just be able to go through it. Get Tsune Rush. It's on, baby. Annihilation. Now moving through. Able to get the first kill. Now very low. And Strile's trying to get Juno, but she is so hard to track down, isn't she? But still, they are able to accomplish it more than does the rest. And a team kill will push them forward after gaining the 2 checkpoints. And they'll have plenty of time to work with as well. Calamity, the first one trying to get back to challenge this point. But, I mean, they're super close where it is. They have the visor, so they're going to try to distract. From the other side is now they're going to sneak behind. They got to watch this flank. And they're not watching it either. Here comes Calamity. Still not able to get any kills because of the Zenyatta. Oh, what a great ultimate. At the tail end in Post University, march it all the way 3 points. And they will take map 2 and go up 2-0 here in this series. But I mean, DT was super strong. This wasn't even a close map if it wasn't for what DT was able to accomplish there early. And Trem Too Cool, in that same sequence, was able to do some big things to set them up for taking that one, because I talked a whole lot about how, you know, it was a lot of that last push, and it was from DT, from Trem Too Cool to push around the corner after the first checkpoint in that last stretch. That was a huge play when they combined for what I believe was an Annihilation and a Riptire that started that push that got them super close to the second point, the end point of King's Row. But then it was Post University, again, Multikel #1 to hold them off that point. Otherwise, we'd be going to a flip, again, back and forth mirror, play it a second time. Instead, Multikel kept them from that final point. And OSO, since they weren't able to get that far, Post University just marched over to them and had plenty of time on that clock. Very dominant performance from Post University at King's Row. Great round nonetheless, and I love the a lot of good sportsmanship in chat as well. So now for OSO, Esports Green, they will need a reverse sweep in order to get a victory here in this match. Best of 5 here in ECAC, week 1. And can't thank everybody enough for coming through, swinging by, and hanging out with us. It's been a good time already. And a lot of y'all in here as well. I see y'all. Making a statement in his first, so I'm just now catching up with Denny's chat here. That was Drew's first Overwatch match. I recognize the name too, though. And I'm pretty sure it was from Rocket League Post University, if I'm not mistaken. I've seen MountainDru. Wasn't he with another school? Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. I don't want to speculate. Denny, you can give me the details whenever it gets to that point in the stream, whenever it's 3 minutes later, and they'll let me know. So if that's the case, then holy cow. Yeah, Drew Zen was going crazy. In fact, that last ultimate, again, kept that push alive. When we saw Calamity on that soldier sneak behind from the flank, and then you think that you're going to get a whole bunch of value, get a couple of kills, because nobody, not a single soul from Post University was looking backwards. They're holding the backside because you're just looking to push forward. You assume that everybody's going to come straight at you after you have that team kill, after everybody's trying to flood back in. You thought that was going to be the case. But it wasn't possible, unfortunately. So it looks like Tattoon, as they are known in Overwatch, aka their gamer tag, if you will. They are on the main roster, not listed as a sub. So Sin City got a whole lot of playtime there, and actually did extremely well for a sub, to be honest. I thought they did a great job. chased off and kind of bullied to some degree, especially when Multikel went full annihilation mode when we talk about that last round. But I thought Sin City did great things, all things considered. And Sin City will also stay in, it looks like, at least for the time being, if based on the lobby that I'm looking at. I think it's a good choice. I thought Sin City did a great job, and we'll see if Tatun can come in and play well. So, should be good to go. Yep, heading into the next one. It'll be Colossio, so we'll have a push map coming up next. And one of my least favorites, I'll be honest, I just can't get the RAM right on this one, I guess. Probably because you shouldn't play it. It's a lot of open space, a lot of high ground as well, so it's not very brawl-friendly, I would say. So that's probably my first mistake. That being said, I'm so hell-bent on playing RAM, I suppose. Yeah, this one's got a few more opportunities for some high ground play. So Calamity might be right back on that soldier. That's something that you got to consider. There's also May could work here too, I guess. I know we've seen a whole lot of May. Speedy is teasing at a Pharo. We'll see if this plays out too. Let's get a game so that way y'all can get a sneak peek of it as well.
Initiating match.
League of Legends team. Maybe that's where I know the name. Well, here to Colossio. The CSI team. Yes, yes. 2 minutes later. MountainDru, yeah, Jollification. Yep, there we go. I was like, that name is extremely familiar. Hold on, I have to get the facts. And glad we got to figure that out together.
Ready for battle.
Over to Circuit Maximus. Is 100% what I call this map, by the way. Why wouldn't you? Quick drink at the bar, and we'll get things going in 7 seconds.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Let's get it going. Pize back in as well for Post University, and a chance for them to close out this match as they're up 2-0 in the first couple of maps at Lijiang Tower and Kings Row, if you're just joining us, so no shocker there. But Colossio's next, which is always here and there a choice that can be changed around a little bit. Moridin's on the venture. Eager to see her in action. Be able to maybe get some value. Push in with the drill charge and the tectonic shock. You can get a whole lot of value here too, especially if they're within the dots, right? Multikel on the Zarya, actually. Going a classic throwback. Gotta love that. And Multikel got a multi-kill. That's why they call him multi-kill. Honestly. He's able to drain a whole lot of HP, but wasn't able to land that final kill. Calamity actually switched over to the tank, so I was talking about how it's great to have some variety as far as who you can play, when you can play, and they've been able to do that. Celestial. I wish I was good at support, #1, but Zen would be awesome too. We also have a Life Weaver. Trim Too Cool has switched to support, but they're also going to be switched off the high ground pretty quickly as well. Sin City trying to keep teammates alive, but that's going to be a long cause, just trying over and over again to find something, but not able to do it. And it was Multikel and Moridin, who's combined a multitude of times over the course of this match. They'll find more value together again. Tatun, she'll be dropped as well. Multikel's got grab up right now. Pize and Speedy Rogue, a combination they're waiting for too. Kitsune rush up for Speedy Rogue, so we're going to check out when they might utilize this. They're all the way far back as they look to push the robot forward. The bot continues to move. still finding lots of value, still getting kills without the need for the Kitsune Rush, so no need to burn it here in this engagement. They'll save it for a rainy day. Win that engagement and march even further. In fact, they're almost about to cap this already. This could be a win extremely early. They need to get back to point. But what they will do now, the Kitsune Rush out. Now they're still trying to find kills. Annihilation also ready for a Calamity. They need to be able to use it right now. Here it goes. Look, can they find it? Can they stay alive? Getting a lot of help from their supports in order to keep this match still in place. But now they weren't able to get a single kill from this. Still in Nemesis form, so they will be able to shield for now, but they still have been falling pretty regularly. Sin City was able to get a kill, make it a second one as Calamity will combine for that one too, and Sin City with the second kill in this engagement. Just so much value that you still get out from Juno. It has been months and months since she's been released, and she remains broken, but you can't fault Sin City for utilizing the best of the kit in order to get it done, especially when Pize is on the other side to potentially get that kill. So they'll be able to march and at least stay alive, but I mean, that was very close to being over way sooner than it needed to be here for OSO here in this series, and it might just be a temporary band-aid over what is a root problem for OSO, which is plain and simple the way that Multikel has been able to use the tanks advantage in just a wide array of tanks as well. It looked great on, the Reinhardt looked great again when they switched over to the Ram for an extended period of time. And now, even as Zarya is still marching this forward, so able to sprint back to where you were. And now they get a second shot. Still 5 minutes and 53, essentially 6 minutes here. Multikel's got to stay alive here. They'll need a whole lot of help from Pize. Are they able to get it? They were able to just stay alive, and the shield went up just in time as well in addition to that, so that was super big help. Well, Krystal, Danny's got to love this. Right back into the Torbjorn, right back into finding value. Now from behind, still trying to push forward. Oh, the gravity well. They should be combined with a couple, but the Life Weaver able to build him out. What a great and timely ultimate from Trim, but it's not enough. Calamity will fall, and so will Trim, and the rest of the Post University team will push all the way to the tail end, and Post University will win their first match of the season by the count of 3-0.
Play of the game.
Once again, great sparks of life from this OSO team, including who you're watching right now. Calamity was extremely good on the Soldier, and had great plays, to be honest. Just couldn't quite find enough support. Sin City was very strong too in that sequence. Listed as a sub, I seriously doubt that. Maybe they will in the future. I'm gonna be honest, I thought they played extremely well too. Trim held it down from time to time. I think if Tatchin was there from the get-go in map 1, maybe they needed some time to warm up, and it's very tough to do that when Post University was pushing as much as they do. Sorry about the main screen there. Okay, I'm still, this is my first Overwatch stream / observing / producing / casting. So let me know how I did. Give me feedback as well. Let me see your feedback in chat. Meanwhile, I will give the feedback to Post University that was excellent. That was excellent. Well put together. And you're as strong as your weakest link, and I didn't see any weak links. And in addition to that, you're also better because of your leader. And Multikel was absolutely insane in this game. I mean, Multikel held it down from the front side, and you can't do that as a tank without your supports. So a big shout out to Speedy and Pize, who did big things in that particular map. But also, I mean, MountainDru came in, and also with the support, with the Zen, was absolutely incredible too. So, I mean, just absolute value all around. Great. Now it's the time in the stream where I got to check out and see if we have Post University 2 on. They are not, so that means that we just get to close down the stream here unless we want to perhaps raid. Oh, ECAC Esports is up, so Denny, I'm just going to assume that you want me to raid that, and then I will raid that way. I feel like that's what you did last time, so I'm not going to wait around 3 minutes for that. Unless y'all want me to. Unless you know what? No, let's go. Actually, I have to wait for the stream delay anyway, so it's not going to hit raid because it'll just spoil everything for everybody. Gosh, see? Denny, I'm learning, okay? I'll have this polished by next week, I promise. It'll be on your desk in no time. Quick 3-0 here. Some Overwatch best of 5s can last 4 hours, I say best of 5 or best of 5. It's really first to 3. Could last 2.5 hours. Could last 3 hours. I've seen them last 3 hours before. This one lasted 45 minutes. Post University just that excellent as a whole. So that is my last area of feedback. I will go ahead and raid whenever we see that channel. So hopefully you're stuck around here with me, because then that way we can show some love to the ECAC stream, unless Danny corrects me. But in the meantime, we'll see you all next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you. Bye, everybody.
We got it.